Y'all, what's up? Sacred Quantum Mirror time here. If you're new here, hi, my name's Jody. If you're returning, welcome back. How my messages work, I'm guided to share a little bit about my human journey process. I'm told I'm a sacred quantum mirror of you. You are that of me. There is resonance in what I'm sharing for your life. And yeah, then Mary Magdalene and the Ascended Masters channel through for a message. So yesterday was this uncomfortable energy of anxiety, anxious attachment with the feminine energy, and sharing that, being vulnerable and sharing those energies, that experience. And today, so I did that. I shared with my man, and he is this wonderful man, and it was a good conversation. And what I've realized today after this process is that I was feeling this disconnect, this distance, but it wasn't about me. But since I am very psychically open, I could feel that, and I internalized that, what I was feeling, as me. It triggered these wounds of abandonment, of being too much, of being discarded. And it was overall, it's just been really good to acknowledge where the triggers came from, and that the triggers are coming up to be acknowledged and witnessed. And then for I think the biggest part of like sharing in relationship to deepen intimacy is like, hey, these are some of my wounds, and hey, you're not responsible for them directly, but hey, it's a deepening of intimacy to know this is what's up for me, and I'm working through it on my end. But what I need from this divine masculine is sometimes reassurance. And sometimes that for me feels stupid, but the right person will willingly give that to you, because it was also this breath of fresh air to realize, like, okay, what are my triggers, and how I'm communicating about it and owning them is really what is the most important part of it. Because sometimes we have these distortions come up, and when we're in that fear of, is this rooted in reality? Like, is this the reality of this relationship connection, whatever the connection is for you, where these were triggered, that simple communication is everything. Because when we sit in it and that fear spirals and that energy distortion, frequency multiplies. It, like Mary Magdalene and the Ascended Masters channel through last night, it's a detrimental energy to hold on to. And so part of these moving through these energies is bringing in so much power into every now moment through the alchemy, through the awareness of the patterns, and how to know that they don't own you. They are not you, right? They are fears. They are echoes of the past. And as we've learned from past messages too, it's echoes from lifetimes of the feminine being discarded, and ancestral trauma of the feminine being discarded. And as you're embodying this energy more and more, as I'm embodying this energy more and more, those triggers come up, and they're never just going to be gone, period. But it is our responsibility, my responsibility, to sit with them, to see them, to move through them, to alchemize them, and to see if any of it is rooted in reality. Then there's just a communication about it. But a lot of times it's just triggers, right? There was a little bit of distance, which I internalize as like, that was me. There was needed to be distance from me, but it wasn't. It was about his personal life, and still like a communication about that, of like, oh, okay, I just need a little bit of reassurance when that happens. And you know, he was like, yeah, absolutely, we all need reassurance sometimes. And just like seeing each other, holding space for each other, witnessing one another. And I saw one of you comment about, like, a lot of you moving through the same thing and waiting for the divine masculine and trusting. I just want to respond to you right now. Trusting that he's out there for you, and he will find you, and make that part of your claim to the quantum field. Because that's what I did. I was like, this divine masculine that I'm meant to be with, meant to grow and create a beautiful life with, will find me. I'm not going to find him. I'm not going to go searching for him, is what I should say. And it's going to be this divine meeting that is magical. And it literally was. And so that can happen for you. Anything is possible, especially when you believe it and trust that it's coming. Have faith that it's coming. So, feels like a big shift for me, and I'm hoping you all have had a big shift as well. This awareness of distortions that have been held within, and this releasing of them, this transmuting, alchemizing. A lot of you said you were crying and just feeling that anxiousness, and it's like, really, I see it as this deepening into the feminine and trusting the feminine. And when you do that, not only is the masculine on the external, the masculine energy going to reflect that, but it's the masculine on the inside, your masculine energy reflecting that value and worth and holding that space. Because for me, I was able to like calm down that feminine fear, anxiety rooted in distortion of, you know, the trauma of being discarded, taken advantage of, used. And the masculine energies like acknowledging, for me, the internal masculine, acknowledging that's from past traumas. It's not rooted in the now, and you're safe, you're beautiful, and your expression is valuable and worthy, even if it feels stupid. Period. So, needing reassurance is part of the healing journey for ourselves. And these past traumas are bigger than us in this lifetime. It's cellular memories of lifetimes. And sometime when I first started doing the quantum healing, I was kind of like, why are these different layers coming up? I remember working with my mentor, my teacher. She was like, you're never going to just like get it all out. That's just not how it works. Like, healing is a journey, healing is a process. There's different layers that your soul, your highest self, is ready to move through in every now moment. And I was like, okay, all right, that makes sense. Sometimes like the perfectionist tendencies in me are like, let's get it all. And it's just not realistic. So that feels pertinent to share, because there's going to be layers of this that continue to come up and to integrate in a deeper way. And the healing of the masculine energy within and the feminine energy within, like feeling safe with one another, that is huge. And then that reflection happening in the external relationships in your life, that is massive. There is a massive rewiring happening for me in my brain, my consciousness, my body, my cells, and that's what's happening for you too. So, good job, boo-boo. Good job, collective. A little bit of housekeeping. The group quantum session is going to be Friday the 5th at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you're in the Heaven on Earth Collective, you do not need to buy a ticket. That's included in your membership price. If you want to join for that group quantum session, it is usually an hour and a half long, and we are going to be neutralizing any distortions, stuck energies, with divine feminine and masculine energies being in harmony and balance. So where are the distortions stuck in past lifetimes, parallel lifetimes, ancestral trauma, the collective, the body, the nervous system? It's going to be many different spaces in the quantum field that affect us in this now moment that are ready to be neutralized, bringing in the ability to have deeper harmony with the feminine and masculine together in self and in relationships. And then if you feel called to join the Heaven on Earth Collective, that'll be in the description box, as well as I have the 40% off coupon for one-on-one sessions and past group quantum sessions. So that code is Black40, and go to my website for that. All right. Yep. Love you guys. And here we go. Clearing, removing any and all distorted light, removing and clearing any and all distorted light frequencies, distorted light frequencies from the quantum field on all levels, all spaces, all timelines, any outside influences, energies, entities. Thank you. Wow, I just heard this thing to share too in relation to the feminine. It is these anxieties that are coming up rooted in distortion. One of the most important things in sharing them is having integrity and owning where your trigger is your own. I was able to really do that and see that like the triggers were coming from past traumas in this now moment where the energy felt similar. And so seeing that and communicating that, having integrity, not blaming the other person, more of like having a conversation. Is this what's happening? Is this what's happening for you? Do we need to just understand each other deeply? And it was a beautiful conversation, and it creates a deeper level of intimacy, which is the goal. And so that integrity is key. Being aware of where you're triggered and what's yours, and not projecting it and making it the other person's problem. All right, let's call in Mary Magdalene and the Ascended Masters. I step aside fully and completely and allow Mary Magdalene and the Ascended Masters to channel through for a message. Thank you. I love you. Hi, hello, beautiful collective. We are so happy to see you all moving through this energy so gracefully, so beautifully, with such awareness of the patterns. We really want to acknowledge that you are not allowing these distorted energies, patterns to run the show, which was the case for a lot of you in the past. And not to make that wrong, it was just part of this journey, part of this awareness, part of this awakening, part of this becoming into this now moment. And you having the awareness, this detached observer ability, you allow the distortions to arise, to feel them, to move through them, to witness them, to alchemize them. And the communication, first of all, with self, what is going on for me, what is coming up for me, and then in relationship, the sharing of these distortions as a conversation for deepening of connection, awareness, and intimacy. And you're doing so well. Again, not letting these energies cause you to react out of fear, out of hurt, that feminine energy that has been abused, used, discarded, taken advantage of. That is the core energy of what is alchemizing right now. Trusting that the divine masculine within has the feminine's back, and because of that reciprocity within of witnessing the feminine, witnessing the pain, witnessing the fear. You know, in the past, Jody would just shove that down, not acknowledge it, and that made it worse. As we talked about in the last channeling, it caused physical distortion in the body, pain. It's because that energy is so powerful, so potent. When it gets shoved down, it causes physical distortion. And so the honoring of that expression, the witnessing of it, allows it to move, to alchemize through tears, through breath work, through witnessing. That is energy moving. And a lot of times moving these energies is not fully acknowledged for how powerful it is and how important it is. It is a very key component in your healing journey. And we know a lot of you don't like it because it is very uncomfortable, but you are feeling the discomfort from past lifetimes, parallel lifetimes, ancestral trauma, moving and alchemizing out of your field, out of your system. And as you hold the masculine presence, that energy that is a solid container, space, protective field for the feminine to express that energy how it feels fit, you are alchemizing the balance of that divine feminine and masculine energy within. And as Jody did that, there was a little bit too much of the fear where the distortions in the feminine were taking over. And as she moved through that, witnessed it, and had this conversation with her partner, she was able to see more deeply because he held space for her and talked to her. She was able to see clearly where these distortions were arising from, how they were being triggered, and why. And this conversation caused a deeper level of integration, healing, and understanding of self. And Jody realizing part of her healing journey is needing reassurance that the old energies are not in the present anymore. And that takes her reassuring that for herself. And then she asked her partner to help her with that too, which he has no problem doing because he is a grounded masculine that is healthy and moving through whatever he has going on as well with integrity. And so we really want to acknowledge that when you do this for yourself, first and foremost with the masculine and feminine balancing of energies within, trusting, knowing, believing that it will be reflected in your relationships, but you have to do it for yourself first. You do not expect someone else to do it first on the external and then it happen on the internal. It will never happen that way. It happens on the internal first and then is reflected on the external in relationships, career, all of it, however that reflection happens for you. And Jody touched on this a little bit and we want to expand on it. The integrity of knowing, seeing, witnessing deep inner reflection of where your triggers were born from. The unhealthy relationships, the memories, cellular memories, experiences, trauma of being discarded, of being used, of being taken advantage of being lied to, of being gaslit. Those experiences are very real from your past, and your brain holds on, and your nervous system holds on to those experiences as a protective defense mechanism. So for Jody, when this energy felt off and she felt distance, she internalized that as, oh, this pattern is happening again. That happened in my past, and fear flooded the system, the discard, the being taken advantage of, being used, and it felt like a very real fear that things were not going to be good. High alert, fight, flight, freeze, activation. And so seeing where those triggers arose from was pivotal and very important. And owning those triggers and talking about them honestly. And owning her part, not making the other person wrong, bad, but talking about it. And it, again, deepened that intimacy. And so we know you all are able to do this. You are here because you are a reflection of Jody, and you are very aware, self-aware, and conscious. And we applaud you because that is how you unplug from this distorted light matrix and plug in to the God source within, where you create your heaven on earth from your truth. You create through your internal guidance system and God source spirit. The God source spirit that is within and the God source spirit that is without in the external quantum field. And so moving through these layers of distortion that are arising in this now moment are uncomfortable, and we acknowledge that and we see that, but we want to say that we are deeply proud of you. It is not easy work, and you are doing it so gracefully, so beautifully. And as you do this, you shift the energy around you. You clear and alchemize distortion. You transmute distortion on a deeper level. And you are clearing out energy to embody more divine frequency light codes in every cell of your being in every now moment. So amazing. We love you. This is a level of shadow work. The shadows are distortions that are just held within, stuck energies, rooted in a distortion frequency held in the quantum field. And the self holds on to those out of fear of manipulation, fear of being controlled, fear of, if I release that, then I'm going to be taken advantage again. But that's not the truth. You are rewriting the code. You are rewriting your whole system. We applaud you. Yes. We believe that is all for today. We love you. We love you. We love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And until next time, dear ones. All right, y'all. Cool. Let me know how you're all doing in the comments. I just love you all so much. I appreciate you so much. Just really grateful for this life, this collective, this reality. I'm grateful for listening to the calls that I feel guided to take, the inspired action, because it's all aligning. And I'm sharing that right now because I know that's true for you. When you listen to the internal guidance, what you feel called to do, you will be rewarded because it's happening for me. And there was so much doubt around that really coming together, but it's happening and it's here. And so it's here and it's happening for you. That quantum reality exists now, and you're just magnetizing it in the more you take the baby steps and align to it. So, if you feel called to join Heaven on Earth Collective, purchase a one-on-one session, or join the group quantum session on Friday, all that information is going to be in the information below. I love you. Bye. And I'll talk to you soon.